Mondy.
Hey.
Yeah, nigga. There ain't no DC, MCU news, none of that shit, nigga. Trying to talk about some real shit, boy.
Out of my
Look,
element here. Okay, let's
right.
do it.
Look, guys. I understand that there is a new face for the NBA edition today, but guess what? It's gonna be just as good, just as informative. Mondy, welcome to the NBA.
Hey guys, I know this is probably a whole different audience. Like people who care about the MCU stuff don't give a fuck about sports, and y'all don't give a fuck about this. But I'm here, guys. I'm from the entertainment section. Yeah.
Hilarious. All right, look, man. There's been a whole bunch of first
Javon.
round series. Anyway, who gives a shit about why the pod is so late? But here's the fucking pod, bitches. So, Mondy, let's get into it. I want to go through every first round series, so you can start wherever you want, and then I will just go through and do my rants. Let's go.
Of course. Let's start with the East.
Okay.
Let's do the number 1 seed versus the number 4 seed. We have the Boston Celtics versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, who just beat the Orlando Magic in a 7-game series. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so first of all, I wanted to start with the first round series. So I want to talk about the Celtics and the Heat first.
Oh, okay.
Which is
I
cool.
thought you wanted the current. I thought you wanted the current bracket. Sorry.
No. We're gonna go all the way back. We're gonna go all the way back. Anyway, so Celtics and the Heat. This one was never really in doubt.
Already fucking up.
Strike one, bitch. No, look. All right. There's really not much to dissect here in this series. Celtics and Heat was never really in doubt. The Celtics are obviously the much better team. They were the healthier team until Kristaps Porzingis went out in Game 4, which is something that we're going to have to discuss going into their next series. But everybody was trying to make it seem like a big deal when the Heat tied the series after the second game in Boston. I'm not sure how many people realize that Miami literally set a franchise record in three-pointers made. They made like 24 threes in that game. They were just on fire. Like there was nothing the Celtics could do. But then they quickly mopped them up in Miami and they finished it in Boston. So there's really not much for me here. The Heat didn't have 3 of their best players in Jimmy Butler, Terry Rozier, and they were missing somebody else, I think. But regardless, even though the Heat have matched up pretty well with Boston, I don't even think fully healthy that they could have beaten this Celtics team. So there's no real big surprise here for me.
Any thoughts on Jimmy's statement that if he was there, that the series would have gone differently? I mean, you just said obviously not, but do you think it could have gone 7?
I do think it could have gone differently. And I will say Pat Riley's comments that came out today are just hilarious, saying that if you weren't playing, then you should basically shut the hell up. And then he also said that Tyler Hero is he didn't say weak. He said something along the lines of Tyler Hero's never healthy, which is that's just a crazy statement for like the president of basketball operations of your team to make about you. But yeah, no, ultimately, I don't think that this year's Celtics team would have lost to even a fully healthy Heat team. I do think that it could have been more competitive, but this Celtics team is just too loaded, man. I really think that this is probably their championship to lose, unfortunately.
Agreed. Next series we'll discuss is the Cavaliers versus the Orlando Magic. Why am I happy doing this? Give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts on this series. This went 7, man.
Yeah, this was kind of a surprise to me. I'm not gonna lie. I did have the Cavaliers winning this series, but I didn't think that it would go 7. But shout out to Paolo Banchero, shout out to Jamal Mosley and the Orlando Magic, man. Those guys played very, very hard, especially in Orlando. Excuse me. Even in Game 7, which I actually missed, I went back and saw some of the highlights. They had an 18-point lead in the second quarter, which is just crazy for such a young team. Like, I feel like people forget that Paolo is only in his second year, and he led his team to the playoffs as a 5th seed in his second year. That's that has to count for something. He averaged close to, I think he averaged like 28, 8, and 5 in this series. Like those are LeBron James numbers, and like
against a really good defense too.
Against a really good Cavs defense. So I don't know, man. I mean, I think this says more about Orlando than it does the Cavs, unfortunately. I will say that Jared Allen didn't play the last 3 games. He is dealing with a rib injury. He's a big part of what the Cavs do, and he was dominating the first 2 games in Cleveland. So okay, but yeah, I mean, Donovan Mitchell stepped up. He had 50 points in Game 6, and they still lost. And then he's had 18 straight or something in the fourth quarter in Game 7. So this is why they brought him here. You know, Donovan Mitchell historically is which is going to be crazy to say, but historically he's one of the best playoff performers that we've seen in like the modern era in terms of points per game. So it doesn't surprise me that he played well, especially against this young Orlando Magic team. I am a little disappointed that the Cavs couldn't win a single game in Orlando, because obviously they don't have home court advantage going into this next series against Boston. So we're going to see how they fare. But yeah, I mean, hopefully Jared Allen can be healthy enough to play. I think he will try to give it a go in this Boston series, but we'll see. But yeah, ultimately, Cavs won this series just like I thought. But I do think Orlando showed me a little bit more in this series.
Yes, and Donovan Mitchell. Now, do you think? I'm just curious in terms of him and Devin Booker in terms of the best shooting guard in the league. I mean, Ant-Man is obviously considered one of the best, but out of those two, Booker and Donovan Mitchell, who do you think now is the best shooting guard in the league between those
It's
two?
Anthony Edwards. It's Anthony
I know.
Edwards. He's
I meant between Booker and Mitchell. Yeah.
yeah. This is. I mean, I think Devin Booker. If we're just talking about like if you switch those two players, then I still think Devin Booker is like slightly better. Like it may be like a 90 to an 89. Just because I think Devin Booker, if he's actually playing shooting guard and not point guard like he's trying to do with the Suns, and he's actually in a decent offense, I think he's absolutely lethal. I think he's clutch as hell. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's very close. I'll say that. My
Just
opinion.
interesting. Okay, next series we'll get into, guys, is the Indiana Pacers versus the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, this was an interesting series. I picked the Pacers knowing that Giannis was not going to play a single game in this series. I would have picked the Pacers even if Giannis was going to play every game in this series, just because.
Seriously, wow.
Yes, just because the Pacers have absolutely owned the Bucks throughout this year. Now, regular season doesn't mean everything in terms of the playoffs. We've seen teams get swept in the regular season and then beat a team's ass in the playoffs. We've seen it time and time again. But there is something to getting absolutely destroyed in the regular season and then having to face that team in the playoffs. Like, these games weren't even really competitive. Like, the Pacers were blowing them out of the water when they saw them in the regular season. Granted, Giannis was dominating. I mean, I'm pretty sure Giannis scored 50 plus twice against them. But both of those were in losses. So, yeah. Look, man, this Pacers team, I will stand by it and say that they are different since the trade deadline. They lost Benedict Mathurin to injury. They gave up Buddy Hield. I think both of those guys are really big pieces to what they were doing earlier in the year. Obviously, they gained Pascal Siakam, who's been a godsend for them, especially in this first series. He played really well in the first few games. He kind of tailed off towards the end, but then Halberd picked it back up. But this is the luxury of having two healthy stars at this time. Both of them don't have to be elite at the same time. Like, it'd be nice, but Pascal was really great in the first 3 games, and Halliburton was really great in the last 3 games. So, unfortunately, Dame Lillard kind of got beat up in this series too, dealing with an Achilles strain, I believe. He came back pretty early to try and play Game 6, and he played a pretty good game for, or I think they call it a calf strain. But I mean, the Pacers are just. This is just a bad matchup for them, like another series we're going to talk about. So ultimately, what happened is what I expected to happen here. The Pacers won pretty easily. I mean, this series was never really in doubt for me. The Pacers were leading the entire time, and they won in 6. So, yeah.
Even when Indiana won without Giannis and Dame, I mean, Milwaukee won without Giannis and Dame, you didn't think there was a more of a sliver of hope for
Not
the
at
Bucks?
all. No. Bucks were at home. What's his name? Bobby Portis had just gotten suspended, or he got kicked out the game before in the first quarter. They were fired up. This was their game to win. It didn't move me at all.
Yeah, Dame and Halliburton, I think, have some real beef. Like, I saw like some audio leaking of Dame just called him a bitch straight up. I was like, damn. I was like, sheesh.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm not sure where that comes from because Dame's been in the West his entire career. So like I guess all these ass whoopings he's taken this year, I guess the Pacers just kind of led him to say fuck Halliburton. But yeah, I don't know.
It could have stemmed from that Giannis incident. Remember earlier this year? That was crazy when Giannis
Yeah,
went to take the ball.
yeah,
That
yeah,
was so
yeah.
funny.
Yeah, he scored 60 points in a loss, and he was like, "I want the fucking game ball." Yeah, that was crazy.
And
That was crazy.
lastly, on this series, what did it say about Doc's legacy, if anything, considering his two stars were hurt?
Look, man, Doc Rivers took over this team mid-season. I think they were the second seed in the East at the time. They were like 21 games above 500. They were a decent team, but there needed to be a change. Clearly, Giannis didn't respect Adrian Griffin, and I think most people thought that there was something going on with the Bucks at that time. Now, I don't know if Doc Rivers was the answer, because I think he almost had like a 500 record with them the rest of the way, and they flamed out in the playoffs. I mean, look, if the best player in the series isn't going to play, it's going to be hard to win. Like, period. So I can't say that this is 100% Doc Rivers' fault, but I do think he deserves some blame for how this team performed. Um, Not just in the postseason, but in the back half of the season when he got the team. So I will say that he deserves some blame, but his two best players were missed multiple games in this series. So I can't give him all the blame as much as I want to because I fucking hate Doc Rivers.
Agreed. Last series in the East is the most entertaining series, in my humble opinion. Was the Knicks versus the Sixers.
Yeah.
Knicks fans are nuts. I just want to point that out. I thought
Yeah,
Philly
they
fans
are.
were nuts, but then they encountered the Knicks fans. It was just crazy. But yeah, give me your thoughts on this. Jalen Brunson is here. Give me
Mhm.
your thoughts.
Man, this was a super entertaining series. It felt like every single game was just going down to the wire. Um, I did pick the Sixers before this series, and I was wrong. Uh, I guess I just counted on Embiid being healthy enough, but it turns out he just wasn't. I mean, if you were watching the games, there were times where like he just couldn't jump. like he's 7 feet, like he's tall, he's long, but he just could not jump, man. And then the whole thing going on with his face, he couldn't move it. I think Bell's palsy, I believe he has a mild case of it. This poor guy, man, he just can't be healthy during the playoffs. Like this is like 5 years straight that he's just not healthy around this time. Like him and Kawhi are just like these niggas just literally shut down around this time of the year. So um, once I kind of realized that was the case with him, I mean the writing was on the wall. Even though, like I said, the series was very competitive. Tyrese Maxey, man, what a coming out party for him. He was balling in every single one of these games, and I think I think the reality is the Knicks are just better coached. They're healthier, even though they don't have Julius Randle. They had Mitchell Robinson for every game, which is a great matchup for Embiid. And like you said, man, Jaylen Brunson, man, he's just a fucking star. Like this dude is so good. Uh, he was not that efficient the first few games, but regardless of that, he stepped it up big in games 5 and 6 and basically dominated those games. And I mean, yeah, like I said, I was wrong, man. The Knicks pulled it out. I mean, they tried to cough up 2 games, but they didn't. So yeah, they got a test, I think, in this next series. But yeah, like you said, the Knicks fans are absolutely insane. Like like all the social media stuff, like all these niggas just screaming outside MSG and every other arena they're in. It's absolutely hilarious. But look, man, like I appreciate this because as I've often said on these NBA pods, like the Knicks have not been good my entire lifetime. Like literally, like they went to the finals in '99 in the lockout year. Um, they were decent with Melo. I think they went to the second round with Melo that one year where they had Tyson Chandler, Jason Kidd. Other than that, they've just been mediocre. And I think this is the first time in a long time that the Knicks fans actually have something to actually cheer for. So I'm happy for them in that aspect. But we'll see. We'll see how far they can take it. So yeah.
A two-part question for you: Can Brunson be a 1A or a 1B on a championship team? Which one do you think he is? And also, did you see Josh Hart being this good of an ancillary piece to a team early in his career?
So I like Josh Hart. The Lakers drafted Josh Hart with Brandon Ingram in 2017. I thought that he was a very good role player, but I thought that was kind of his ceiling. And it turns out that's not really that far from the truth. Like he's still a really good role player. He's a really good defender. He's a hustle guy. He's an energy guy. If you leave him open, he'll make the three. He rebounds extremely well for like a 6'5" guard. Like I don't know why this nigga's averaging like 11 rebounds a game. But yeah, man, look, I really like Josh Hart, but I don't think him being your second, third, or fourth best player is going to get you very far. And I think in this situation, I think that's pretty much what he is, like the second, third, or fourth best player, or at least the second, third, or fourth option, which, I don't know if that's going to get you that far in the postseason, but we'll see. We'll see. What was the first part of the question?
Is Brunson a 1A or a 1B on a championship team? Or can he be a 1A?
This is tough. So Javar is way higher on Jaylen Brunson than I am. Javar thinks that he can be an integral part to a winning team. And I mean, I do agree with that, but 1A, 1B, that's tough, man. That's tough. I mean, it's pretty much what Becky Hammond said. Like, pretty much only Steph Curry in the last, 30 years or so has been a 1A and gotten it done. Like, and
At the point guard position.
right. Well, I really just mean at that size, like at that like 6 foot, like at that 6 foot and undersized, like he's the only guy has that has like gotten it done consistently. Like, so do I think Jaylen Brunson can be the best player on a championship team? No, but that's not a knock on Jaylen. Like, he's still really good, man. Like I certainly think that he could be the number 2, but when you say that, people are like, "Oh, fuck you, number 2." Fuck, like, bro, like that's still good. Like that's Anthony Davis. What's wrong with Anthony Davis? Like, I don't get it, but whatever.
And will Tobias Harris ever make more than $15 million again?
Oh my gosh. This nigga's fucking done. This nigga's fucking done. I know the Sixers are just upset about paying this nigga so much money. They gave him a 5-year, $180 million max contract. And his agent couldn't have said, like, this nigga didn't even ask Tobias. He was like, yes, we'll take it, bitch. Because he fucking knew that Tobias Harris is just a bum. 0 points in an elimination game is just... Actually, I'm literally not surprised. This is just who Tobias Harris is, unfortunately. He's just a bum. So, the Sixers, this is the last year of that deal. He's going to be a free agent this year. And...
he's out of here.
Well, yeah, he's definitely out of Philly. But I wouldn't be surprised if some team paid him if I'm being real. Like,
as a Lakers fan, honestly,
fuck no,
would you
no?
A $15 million deal, you wouldn't take him? Okay,
hell no, nigga.
Okay.
Fuck no. I wouldn't. But I think a team like there's a whole bunch of garbage teams with the cap space this summer, like the Wizards and the Pistons. Even Orlando has cap space. Even the Knicks have cap space. Which, I mean, they have OG Anunoby. They don't need fucking Tobias Harris. But it could be insurance in case Randall. Yeah. It could be insurance in case Randall flames out again. So I don't know, whatever. But yeah.
Anyway,
shout out to Tobias Harris.
Let's move on to the West, guys. First series we're gonna tackle here is Thunder versus the Pelicans.
Yeah. Exactly.
Sweep.
Yeah.
Give me your thoughts on it. We got the sweep victory.
It's, again, this was, look, everybody says that I am a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander hater. That's really not the case. I am a fan of this guy. I just think that he hasn't been tested yet in the postseason as the number 1 option. This series was his first taste of it. His numbers, his shooting percentage, his splits, all that went down. But they're facing a team that doesn't have their best player. They're the number 8 seed. What the fuck? Like, there's nothing to analyze here. The Thunder are the number 1 seed. They're just better. Okay, they are better than the Pelicans without Zion Williamson playing. So the Pelicans, the Thunder 1-4.
And BI still hurt really too.
Yeah. Obviously Ingram is not 100%. CJ McCollum, Jesus Christ. We all know that we can't depend on him this time of the year.
My lungs.
I'm
sorry.
Damn, that's crazy.
I'm sorry.
Nigga almost died, bro.
I'm sorry.
And yeah, I mean, the rest of the team just isn't battle tested enough to help. Love Herb Jones, love Trey Murphy, love Jose Alvarado. I love Willie Green, but if your big dog isn't healthy, man, there's not much you can do. So Thunder winning 4, no real surprise here. I do love J-Dub from the Thunder, man. I've been trying to tell people he's a fucking star. This kid is going to be really, really good. He's only his second year, by the way, guys. So, yeah. And obviously, I mean, Chet Holmgren is, he's a beast, man. So the Thunder are going to be a tough out this year for sure.
I love seeing the Thunder during the post interview after the game. They always run to their local.
Yeah. Like, name ESPN. Fuck y'all niggas. We had 3 nationally televised 3 fucking national games this year, bitch. Fuck y'all. Just hilarious.
Great question. You're starting a team. You take Banchero or do you take J-Dub?
Oh my gosh. I would have to go Paolo, man. I mean, look, Paolo, it says something about being the number 1 now, even though both of them are in their second year. Excuse me. J-Dub is arguably the third option on that team. So he's not getting the type of coverage that Paolo is. Paolo is getting the best defender every single night, and he is fucking flaming them. So give me Paolo.
I like that answer. All right, next series, another one that was pretty interesting for me. Mavs Clippers. Luka seems to have the Clippers numbers. I guess Kyrie does now too. But what's your thought on this series?
Yeah, man. Luka was asked before the series started, the Clippers have put you out in 2 or 3 out of 4 years. What's the difference this year? The nigga said, Kyrie, bitch. That was pretty much the fucking difference because Kyrie, oh my gosh, man. I think, people are easy to write Kyrie off because he is a cancer. He is nuts. He doesn't focus on basketball often. But when he does, man, like this dude is like, he's such a fun guy to watch play. Like he's just so creative. He's so good. Like that finish he had in game 4, where he's just like double clutch. Like I don't know how he makes that shit, but he does it consistently. Luka averaged 39 and 9. So what the fuck? What the fuck are you gonna do? I mean, look, man, I said this earlier, but the Mavs may have had the best trade deadline in recent memory. Maybe since the Lakers got Powell at the 2007 trade deadline. Like,
oh wow,
people are really underrating what PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford are bringing to this team. Like, the Mavs for the past year and a half have been known as just a team that's just going to try to outscore you. Luka's going to drop 35. He's going to shoot great from the field. His 3-point percentage is better. His free throw percentage is better. You can't stop Kyrie either. How are you going to beat the Mavs? Well, the reality is they're small inside. They have no post defense. They have no rim protection. And if Kyrie or Luka has an off night, which is bound to happen in the NBA, this Mavs team is very beatable. And they basically had no wing presence. Like they had nothing for guys like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or the Kawhi Leonards or the Paul Georges or whoever. They had nobody to guard them. So what do? They go out and get a 6'8", 6'9" wing defender that can shoot 3, and they go and get a rim protector that can rebound the fucking ball. It's like it sounds so simple, but in reality, this second half of the season, the Mavs have been absolutely incredible, up to the point where they were in the fucking play-in with us, and then they squeak all the way into the 5th seed. So I don't know, man. This series was also never really in doubt for me. Even when Kawhi tried to play, it's the same thing with him every year, man. I have absolutely no faith in the Clippers and what they're trying to do, what they're trying to build. And it's unfortunate because, like, aside from James Harden and Russell Westbrook, like, I actually really like the Clippers. Like, I like fuck both of those guys, but Paul George and Kawhi, man, like, I'm actually a fan, and like I do want them to succeed on some level, but I just think that this was just a bad matchup for them. And Luka, like, Luka's averaging 39 and 9. Like that's insane. Like that's just like, that's insane on like really good shooting splits. So And then when you add Kyrie dropping 30 and a half, you add Daniel Gafford trying his best to compete with Zubac or whoever else is out there. And then you add guys like Derek Lively, who's coming off the bench, Maxi Kleber, who this nigga does nothing the entire season, but you can count on him for 3 threes a game in the playoffs, bitch. Like, count on it. And then, you finally have somebody to put on a Harden or a Westbrook or a Paul George or a Kawhi and a Derrick Jones Jr. or a PJ Washington. So, like I said, to me, this series is never really in doubt. I always thought the Mavs were a better team, and I picked them to win this series, and they did in 6. So, the bigger question is the Clippers. Like, where do they go from here? Because Paul George is a unrestricted free agent, meaning that the Clippers can offer him a 5-year max. But from all reports that I've seen, they are not doing that. So is Paul George going to jump ship and leave? I seriously doubt it. He loves LA. He's an LA kid. I doubt that he goes anywhere. But I mean,
Warriors,
this is
the Warriors would fit him good. I feel like Paul George and the Warriors would look real nice.
But that means they have to get rid of Clay, which I think that they want to do.
Yeah, but I say, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, man. Look, I think that this formula of 4 years in a row we're not healthy together, like something has to give here. So yeah, we'll see what the Clippers do. I think for the most part they are going to stand pat. I don't think they're going to make any big changes. I think Harden, Westbrook, Paul George, and Kawhi will all be there next season. But we'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah, because at a time around December they were rolling. Do you think that a healthy Kawhi changes the series at all? I mean, obviously it changes the series, but enough for them to win.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, look, I think it absolutely changes the series. I just don't think it changes the outcome. I still think that. Well, hold on. Okay, if we're talking like completely healthy Kawhi,
match power,
right? Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, like this nigga turns into prime Kobe in the playoffs, so I don't know. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, but that's the thing. He's never healthy in this time, so like that's why I was like, yeah, I picked the Mavs because Kawhi is not going to play, or he's not going to be 100%. He's going to be hobbled. So, but yeah, a healthy Kawhi is still fucking scary, even in 2024. So. Yeah, if he was fully healthy, I'd probably lean Clippers, but we all know he's never going to be healthy in these playoff stuff. Yeah.
Fair enough. Next series we have are the T-Wolves versus the Phoenix Suns. Anthony Edwards, another player who has arrived as well. Give me your thoughts.
This was surprising to me. I picked the Wolves to win this series, but I damn sure didn't think they were going to beat their ass. I did not think it was going to be a 4-0 sweep. Yeah, this was probably the biggest shock of the playoffs for me. Like you said, man, Anthony Edwards, like just a gamer, bro. Like if you watch basketball in any aspect, like how can you not love this kid? Like this dude is just 22 years old, out here balling with all-time greats like Kevin Durant, like, and making it look like he not only belongs, but like this is my shit now. That's crazy. Like, look, I mean. This is KD post Achilles, but KD averaged like 29 points a game this year on like 55% from the field. Like he's still really, really good. But it just didn't matter, man. It just didn't matter. But, the reality is, and this is something I said in my preview of this series, I think the Suns have had a major flaw in their roster this entire year. And it's just that they have no size and they have no depth. Yusuf Nurkic. Well, yeah, but I mean that's like a third issue. Like you need size and depth, especially if you're going against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have size and depth in spades. Like these niggas have 3 7-footers, 2 of them who can shoot threes really well, and they have one of the deepest benches with Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Naz Reid, who this nigga, man, I can't stand Naz Reid. This nigga Naz Reid will not hoop against anybody but the Lakers and the Nuggets. And I just don't get it. Like, first of all, what do we do to Naz Reid? Like, I swear, like, go back. I go back and look at every Lakers versus T-Wolves game this regular season. It's not Anthony Edwards. It's not Karl-Anthony Towns. This nigga Naz Reid dropped like 25 on us twice. I promise. Anyway, But yeah, anyway, yeah. So like the reality is, I did pick the Timberwolves to win this series. I just thought that they were the better team. Um, they may not have the most talent, but I thought that they were the better team. And I was wrong. Like they do have more talent, and they are the better team because Jesus Christ, they just, I mean, this is one again that just didn't look in doubt. Like there was really no point in any game where I was like, okay, the Suns got one here. It was just really Minnesota. It was close in the first half, and then in the third quarter, the game would just blow open, and all of a sudden it's 3-3-3. Anthony Edwards dunk, meme mug. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, y'all can't do anything with this guy. But that's what happens when you blow your payroll on 3 stars that are not that compatible. And yeah, this is another team that's in trouble in this summer coming up because they are capped the fuck out. They've got Bradley Beal's going to be making like $55 million next year, and they still don't have a point guard. They have no depth. Yeah, the Suns are in trouble. Suns are in trouble.
It's so funny. I just watched the Club Shay Shay interview with Charles Barkley, which is a really good interview, by the way. He said that the most he made in his career was $5 million a year, which is so crazy how the game is just
It's crazy,
really
man.
blown it out of the water with these contracts.
Yeah.
Anyway, last I'll save the best for last for you. We have the Nuggets versus the LA Lakers.
Yeah.
Womp womp womp. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, man. This was this was not fun.
It's crazy because I kept getting hope in this series for some reason. Like I'm not a Lakers fan, but I just wanted the Nuggets to lose. And I kept getting these glimpses of hope with the Lakers, and they were just yeah. So I only made how Lakers fans feel.
Yeah, man. Look, this was, first of all, I picked the Lakers to win this series. As a Laker fan, I'm not picking the Nuggets. Fuck them. But yeah, look, I mean, game one kind of went how it went. I mean, game one in Denver was just a feel out game. That's typically just how LeBron rolls. Obviously, we competed, we tried hard, we had a lead like we do in every single one of these games. We lost the lead, they won the game, whatever. AD played really well. Like I think he had like 35, 15. Braun played really well. D'Angelo Russell, I mean, what the fuck was he doing? Like, Jesus, he was 1 for 10 in game one alone, and everybody's looking at him sideways. We were just like, what the fuck, brother? What the fuck? So going into game two, I think this was pretty much the series for us. LeBron and AD played really well again. D'Lo hit 7 threes in that game. He completely turned it around from game one. We had a 20-point lead. We were dominating them. Like we were kicking their ass in Denver. We were like, fuck, finally. And then they come back and Jamal Murray hits a game winner, and it was over.
I think that shot kind of broke you guys.
It did.
Momentum from there on out.
It did. We were there was just nothing. There was just nothing we can do. It just felt like, to me, it just felt like this is just that final boss that we just cannot beat. It doesn't matter what combos we use. It doesn't matter how many potions we have. It doesn't matter how many revives we got, bro. Like, this is fucking Whitney's Mill Tank. Like, this is Cynthia's fucking what's that fucking dragon Pokemon? Garchomp. Like, we just can't beat this fucking thing. So yeah, game 3 in LA. I wasn't even really paying attention. I mean, we lost. We were up big again. We lost. And then game 4, I was just like, okay, let's just not get swept. We won, but it didn't mean anything. And then in game 5, they put us out of our misery. So, look, I mean, the Nuggets are they're just a hard matchup for us, man. Like, we would have. There's really no avoiding them, honestly. Like, like everybody's whole thing before the seeding was we should tank and get the 8th seed and play the Thunder. Yeah, we may have fared better against the Thunder. We possibly could have beaten the Thunder in a 7-game series. We could have beaten the Mavs or whoever else on that side, but we would have just faced the Nuggets or the T-Wolves in the Western Conference Finals and got eliminated anyway. So, like, I'd rather we just get it over with now. We fired Darvingham, which has been done. Thank God. I do want to talk about this comment that Charles Barkley made. which just proves that he just doesn't watch, which is fine. Like he's old, he's retired, he's works for TNT, he's getting paid $200 million. I don't expect him to watch every single Lakers game, but to come out and say on a public platform, y'all are punks and y'all are idiots for wanting the coach to be fired, this isn't his fault, is just fucking stupid. Because like again, it just proves that he's just not paying attention. We had a 17-point lead in game 5. No, excuse me. We had a 13-point lead in game 5 in the third quarter. Our coach did not call a timeout until we were down 4 points. How does that happen in an NBA game in the postseason? That's just like a small minuscule thing, but that's been happening all season for us. Like it's been happening all season. So yeah. Anyway, LeBron may or may not come back. He's fucking coming back. The nigga's not leaving. We're gonna draft Bronny. People are like getting a kick out of this. Like I don't get what the big deal is. Like he's gonna beat the Nassus. He's gonna sit at the end of the fucking bench. He's gonna pay his dues. He's gonna grind. He's gonna carry the bags, get the donuts, and LeBron's gonna be happy, and we're gonna be happy. Like I don't get the big deal of drafting Bronny. Like I don't get why it's such a big story item.
Is Bryce coming in 2 years?
Fuck no. Well, I mean, if LeBron's there, then yeah. But I mean,
yeah, LeBron's there and Bronny's there.
Fucking 43-year-old. No, please, God, I don't want 43-year-old LeBron. Unless look, let me say this about LeBron. I did not think that he was going to be 25, 7, and 7 at 39 years old. I didn't. Shooting the best 3-point percentage of his life. Still looking pretty damn good athletically. Can still get to the paint at will. He's still really fucking good. Like I was totally wrong about this guy, but I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say every fucking year he's here. I don't know if he can continue to just do this, man. We're just in uncharted territory with this guy. So for me to rely on a 40-year-old man in December as our best player is just tough. It's fucking tough, man. So yeah, where did the Lakers go from here? We have fired our coach. We have to find a new coach. People are saying JJ Redick. People are saying Ty Lue. I just want somebody that's competent, somebody that has experience, somebody that can command the respect of the locker room, somebody that knows how to fucking call a timeout, somebody that can use his rotations better. There was no reason why we should have benched D'Lo and Austin Reeves so early in the season. There's no reason why Cam Reddish should be playing 30 fucking minutes a game. There's no reason. There's no reason for these things. So if anybody can come in here and do better than Darvin Ham, then I'll be happy. Yeah.
The idea of LeBron and JJ Redick having a podcast just so he can coach him on how to be a coach is so funny. That theory.
That's so hilarious.
Funny, if it is true, which I don't know.
Look, I'm rooting for JJ Redick, but he can't be the coach of the Lakers as
no
a
experience.
Yeah, with no experience. I mean, he doesn't even have like assistant coaching experience. Like he literally was just a player 2 years ago. Like he can't just come into this high profile of a job while LeBron's playing. Now, if LeBron leaves and we go into a rebuild, fine, hire JJ Redick, whatever. But he can't have this as his first job.
Hypothetically, as a Lakers fan, would you rather want JJ Redick as your next coach or Rajon Rondo? Both of these guys having zero coaching experience. The high IQ players.
Those are my only two options. I would rather have Rondo, I guess.
Okay.
But both would not. I would not be happy with either one. But I would rather have Rondo.
Okay, just curious. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to discuss? Next round matchups or anything like that?
Yeah, let's go to the second round.
All right, second round. Let's go back on to the East, guys. So Celtics, Cavs. What are your predictions?
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting series. Like I stated earlier, I hope that Jared Allen is healthy because now that Kristaps Porzingis isn't, Al Horford is going to be getting those minutes. So I think that the Cavs have like a puncher's chance at actually pulling this thing off. Because obviously, as a Lakers fan, I want the Celtics to lose, okay? I'm going to be completely transparent here. I want the Celtics to lose. But Look, the reality is, even without Porzingis, the Celtics are still really good. I didn't even mention him in this past series, but Derek White played his ass off in those last 3 games against the Heat. So, the Cavs are going to have their hands full, man. Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro, or whoever. I think it's Okoro still starting. They're going to have to figure out how they're going to defend that trio of Derek White, Tatum, and Brown. Whereas I think Evan Mobley is going to have a matchup advantage. So he's probably going to be the key to the series in terms of how well the Cavs do. If Evan Mobley is winning his matchup, then I think the Cavs have a puncher's chance as long as Donovan Mitchell continues to elevate his game. Darius Garland, I'm kind of looking at him sideways. I'm not going to lie. He's already been an all-star. He's a good player, but this is his second straight postseason of not really performing that well. Granted, he's not the number one option. He's, Darius Garland's primary role, from what I've seen this year especially, is to distribute and kind of get in where he can get in. But they're going to need to score because this Celtics team not only scores at a high level, they defend at a high level too. So, obviously, the Celtics are the better team. I think the Celtics are going to win this series, unfortunately. But I would like to see the Cavs win it. But in order for them to win it, Evan Mobley needs to win his matchup. Donovan Mitchell needs to continue to be great. And they're going to need something. They can't get 14 points a game from Darius Garland. He's got to be closer to 20. But the biggest thing is that the Cavs don't have home court advantage. I mean, in the first series, they won every single one of their home games, but they literally lost every away game. And now they're going into the Boston Garden, where the Celtics have the best home record in the entire league. So that doesn't bode well for them, because the Celtics don't need to win a single game in Cleveland, which they will, but they don't need to. So I'm going to go with the Boston Celtics going to win this series, even though I don't want them to.
And how many games?
I'm going to say probably 5, just because
Damn.
I don't expect the Cavs to perform, honestly. And it's so funny because I've kind of been like on their dick like all year. Like I've been like, oh, the Cavs are a dark horse. They can do this. They can do that. But they've just kind of flamed out basically this last month of the regular season. And this first round matchup that I just saw was not encouraging. So I want to be wrong. I would love if the Cavs come out and kick their ass. It's just not realistic in my opinion. Celtics in 5.
If my opinion matters, I have Celtics in 5 as well. I saw a funny tweet. I saw a funny tweet. It was like Lionel Messi went to that last game thinking Derek White was fucking Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I saw the nigga up in that suite. That was funny.
All right. Next series we have is the Pacers versus the Knicks. This might get gritty. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, we got some beef in this series, man. This is also another regular season beef, thanks to Wally Szczerbiak and the New York Knicks. Like this nigga Wally Szczerbiak called Tyrese Halliburton a wannabe all-star like 2 years ago, and he has not let it go, which I wouldn't either, bitch. So look, historically, Tyrese Halliburton has hooped against the Knicks, literally for that exact reason. I think he had like a 20-20 game against them, but I don't know, man. I feel like this series could go either way. Honestly, I still lean more Knicks because the Pacers just don't play any defense, and I don't think they can do anything with Jaylen Brunson outside of trap him and double him, which other teams have done. So it's going to be up on the OG Anunobys, the Miles McBride, the Josh Harts, and guys like that to make shots. But I don't know. What I will say is that this series has 2 really great coaches in Rick Carlisle and Tom Thibodeau. I think that both of them are going to have game plans for each other. I think that this series is really going to come down to the Halliburton versus the Jaylen Brunson battle. I think whichever one of those guys is greater is whose team is going to win this series. I really do think it can go either way. I really believe that. But I am going to lean Knicks. And I would say Knicks in 6, just because I'm not sure if the Pacers are ready for just this grind of and this slog and this slow pace that the Knicks are going to impose on them. I think, especially because I think like Tom Thibodeau is so funny, bro. Like he does not care about like having fun or like the purity of the game. Like he will sell out to make sure that you do not beat him. Like he will hard W as soon as you get the ball. He's going to deny. Um, I like fully expect this kind of muddied up and ugly game plan from the Knicks. So I'm going to go Knicks in 6 just because I don't know if the Pacers will be ready for it. But again, they have a great coach in Rick Carlisle, so maybe they will, man. But I lean Knicks in 6. Jalen Brunson having another big series.
I agree once again. Knicks in 6. Will Obi Toppin be coming for blood against his former team?
Yeah, the Obi Toppin revenge games in New York. Yeah. Watch out for him, guys. Games 1 and 2. Obi Toppin.
Fast break, y'all ain't ready,
bro. If he gets a fast, first of all, he's dying to get a fast break. He's going between the legs.
That's all he wants.
Yes. He's going between the legs, like no doubt. It'd be crazy. First of all, I'm going to give some love to Obi Toppin because he low key had a great series in his first round against the Bucks. So, look, who says it can't continue? Bro, Rest
out for blood.
Look, Rest literally texted me earlier today. He was like, bro, if Obi Toppin had some fucking like standout series and win a slimmer, I'm like, that shit's hilarious. Obi Toppin, the fucking hero of this series, would be nuts. I'm praying for it. I'm praying for it, honestly. So yeah.
Let's go to the West. We have the Thunder versus the Mavs. This is West B, the offensive brigade. I mean, Thunder have good defense too, though. But what are your thoughts on this series? And who's the best star in this series? Well, obviously it's Luka, but okay, look, who's gonna win it? Who's the top 3 players in the series? I'll ask you that in order.
Okay. So yeah, look, this is another very interesting series. I'm very excited to watch this one. These teams played each other 3 times in the regular season, but Luka and only played in one of those games, which the Mavs won. The Thunder won the other 2, which Luka didn't play. So it's really hard to take anything from these regular season matchups. It's just such a small sample size. I will say that I think in order, it should be Luka, SGA, and then Kyrie. That's how it should be. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if that's how it's going to be. Because I mean, if we break down the matchups, they're going to put Lou Dort on Luka. They're going to put SGA on.
Who played great defense, by the way, last series.
He did. He played really. He had Brandon Ingram in the fucking torture chamber. If we're being real, he was on his ass. But that's Brandon fucking Ingram, and this is Luka fucking Doncic. So we'll see if that continues. I don't expect it to. They're going to put SGA on probably PJ Washington, somebody where he can just stand and hope he doesn't make a 3. They're going to put Chet on Gafford. And who's guarding Kyrie? That's the big thing for them. Is it going to be Josh Giddey? Is it going to be J-Dub? Is it going to be SGA? Is he going to step up and take that challenge?
No.
So, yeah, I don't think so either. He shouldn't. I mean, why would he do that? Save your energy. Put that 6'8" Australian nigga on him and let him get crossed up. But, yeah, man. This series is going to be interesting just because of the matchups. I'm not sure how the Thunder can win this series unless J-Dub just has a masterclass of a series, which is possible. Like I just said, I'm really high on him. I think he's really, really good. But not only is this his first time in the spotlight, this is Chet's first time. This is SGA's first time as the number 1 option. This is their coach, Mark Dagnall's first time. It's going to be tough for them to like really perform at this level. Like, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that the Mavs have been here before. Jason Kidd has been here before. Kyrie's an NBA champion. Yeah. Like, experience matters, bro. Like it does. And even though I think the Thunder are probably like a deeper team. Like I think the Thunder can probably rotate 9 guys in this series, whereas the Mavs will probably only do 7, maybe 8. I think that I don't really see how the Thunder can really defend the Mavericks. Whereas I can see how they're going to put Derrick Jones Jr. or PJ Washington on J-Dub and SGA. Not saying that those guys are going to stop them, but those are big, long wings that can give them trouble. And for Chet, they're going to put either Gafford or Derek Lively. somebody that can help them, when he stretch out and shoots the threes, or if they attack the rim. But this Kyrie matchup is problematic. I just don't see a matchup for Kyrie, and I think that's the biggest issue in this series. And if I'm being real, I fully expect Lou Dort to get cooked by Luka as well. So yeah, man, I don't see it. Like, obviously we are recording this before game one of either one of these Westerns, or either one of these. No, yeah, the Timberwolves and the Nuggets have already played, but we are recording this before the Thunder game and before the Pacers game, so we haven't seen anything yet. But I just don't see how the Thunder can defend the Mavericks. Now, the thing that the Thunder have going for them is that they have home court, so maybe their role players will play better, like their Casey Wallaces, their Josh Giddys. Maybe guys like that can hit some shots and give them some momentum. But ultimately, I think the Mavericks are just a better team right now. I just think that. Excuse me, goddamn. And I see the Mavericks winning this series. I wouldn't be surprised if it went 7, but I think that the Mavs are going to win in 6. I really do.
Interesting. I have the Thunder in 6, actually. Do you care for a friendly wager?
Sure.
Not on the numbers, but just who wins the series.
Sure, let's do it.
$50.
$50. Yep.
All right, cool.
Mavs. Nice. Not Thunder. just win the series, right?
Yeah, correct. Right.
All right.
Just win the series.
Right. Cool.
And last series here, guys, we have a sneak peek already of this series, as Julien already mentioned, but we have the Wolves and the Nuggets.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, man?
This is going to be another fun one. It's interesting. If we would have recorded this before game 1, I probably would have had a different series outcome. But man, like the Timberwolves came in to Denver and just took it. Like, I mean, they look like the better team from start to finish. The Nuggets started off slow. They did their whole thing where they're going to start off slow and come back and try to get you in the end, but they couldn't get them, mainly because of some guy, Anthony Edwards. I don't know. It was weird, man. Like, he had like 20 something in the first half, finished with 47. He was just everywhere. I think, first of all, I think that this series is probably going to be the most entertaining. I think that this series has the most potential to go 7. And I do think that it is going to be the Nuggets in 7. And I think if we kind of look at game 1 as like a barometer, Anthony Edwards can't play that well again, just because. And first of all, I want to be very clear. Like, if you like go back and watch that footage, he was just getting anything he wanted. Like, he was getting to every spot he wanted. They were not doubling him at all. They were not trapping him at all. Like, it was just completely KCP. You're one of the league's best perimeter defenders. You go out there and you get him. And he was just like, wait, what? And look, Anthony Edwards is saying the same thing. Like, wait, what? Like, y'all not going to double me? All right. But look, I mean, some of the shots he were getting, they're just too easy for him. Like, he's just too good to. You can't just give him a contested free throw line. Like, that's money. Like, you can't just do that. If he's hitting pull up threes, if he's hitting fadeaways, fine. You shake his fucking hand and you go down on the other end. But you can't just give him post ups in his spot, like an easy turnaround. Like, he had so many of those. And I don't think that you can just play him one-on-one. If there's anybody you have to double, it's Anthony Edwards. Like, you want Karl Anthony Towns shooting 10 threes. You want Rudy Gobert doing whatever.
That's what movies is made of.
That's
what movies is made of.
He's so fucking annoying. You want Jaden McDaniel shooting 6 threes. You want Mike Conley shoot well. You do over Anthony Edwards. You do. So yeah. I do think the Nuggets are good enough and experienced enough to make adjustments. I do want to say something I didn't touch on in the Lakers series. Jamal Murray has not had a good playoffs, and I do want to credit Austin Reeves for his really good defense on him. And I'm talking, I mean, he was shooting like 25 shots, making 11 maybe. Obviously, that's kind of muddied in the Lakers series because he hit 2-game winners on us. But statistically, and if you just look at the game, like he was struggling a lot during that Lakers series. And in game 1, where Anthony Edwards started on him, he again struggled. Like I think he had 0 points in the first half. He ended the game with 17 or 19 or something like that. But that's something to look out for. Like he's also battling an injury. Nobody cares. Everybody's hurt. Embiid was hurt. Kawhi was hurt. Dame Lillard was hurt. Nobody cares. So if you're gonna play, fucking play. Joker, man, I can't fucking stand this guy. He just he he makes it's so funny because some of the shots that he was taking in game 1, like I automatically knew. I was like, yeah, that's in. Like, that's in. Of course it's in. And I was having like trauma flashbacks. Like, oh, here it goes. Like the fucking ugly ass late shot clock over the head 3 splash. Yeah, like that fucking ugly ass. I can't fucking stand the Nuggets. I hope I'm wrong again, but it's just hard for me to bet against the Nuggets, unfortunately. I think that this is the best possible matchup for the Nuggets is the Timberwolves with Gobert and Towns and Naz Reid. And I do want to shout out Rudy Gobert, man. Even though 1v1, he can't do anything with Joker, I think that benefits the Timberwolves because what I've been trying to tell people for the longest is the best thing you can do is play him one-on-one, wear him down with the big body, beat him up, make him take 25 shots, which he did. He was 11 to 25 from the field. He only had 8 assists. And you force those other guys to stay home. Like, you don't want Michael Porter Jr. making 5 threes. You don't want Jamal Murray and KCP making 3 threes apiece. You don't want Justin Holiday and Reggie Jackson and all these other guys coming in, Peyton Watson, and like, you don't want them coming in splashing threes because that just opens up the game for Aaron Gordon to get in his dunker spot, which was on lockdown in that game 1, thanks to Rudy Gobert and Cat and Naz Reid. So look, man, I would continue to just let Joker bully Gobert one-on-one, like just like completely just own it. Like, Gobert, you do your best, man. You're defensive player of the year. You're 7 foot. You're long. Do your best. Play one-on-one. If he's going to hit those fucking hook shots on you, so be it. It's 2 points. We'll go down and we'll score 2 or we'll score 3. But I really think that that's like the recipe for beating the Nuggets. Like, just wear them down. Give them big bodies. Like, this is what we did in the bubble. Like I don't get why we went away from it. Like, we had Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, and Anthony Davis. We played them one-on-one, and we were like, we're not letting these other niggas beat us. Like, we're not. Like, if you're going to score 35 points, so be it. But we're not letting you have 35, 15, and 15. So, yeah, I mean, it sounds like I'm picking Timberwolves, guys, but I'm not. I'm picking the Nuggets. I'm picking the Nuggets to win this series in 7. Just because I would just feel stupid to bet against them again. But yeah, I mean, until they are beaten, they are the champs, and I will respect it. So, Nuggets in 7.
I agree, man. I agree. Nuggets in 7 as well. That wraps it up. Do you have any lasting thoughts on anything?
No, man. Look, thank you. Great pod, Monty. Your first NBA pod. I see you sweating over there. You did great.
Javar,
right? No, Javar, you got nothing to worry about. Trust me. Look, guys, comment down below. Who do you think is going to win the NBA championship? Like the video, subscribe to the Current Era Pod. Thanks, Monty. You're the best.
Thank you.